Welcome to Unit 1, Section 1. Today we're going to be studying scarcity, micro and macro, the four factors of production, the different types of goods and services, and the profit motive that drives the economy. Let's begin with scarcity. For many people, the word economics brings about a fuzzy idea of money, or stock markets, or maybe even buying and selling things. However, it's important to understand that, like biology, which studies life, or psychology, which is the study of the human mind, economics is also a science that examines specific things, creates theories to explain phenomena, and invents experiments to test ideas. Specifically, economics studies how human beings behave when they are faced with scarcity. What is scarcity? Simply put, it's the state of not having enough productive resources to make all the things that one would like to have. Scarcity is not something that can be cured. It's just another aspect of our existence. Our wants and needs are unlimited, but the resources that we have to produce the goods and services to satisfy those wants and needs are limited. Think of it like this. Did you eat breakfast today? If you did, will you never be hungry again? Of course you will, because the need to eat is an unlimited need. Did you go to sleep last night? If you did, will you never be sleepy again? Of course not. Your needs are unlimited, the same as your wants, but the resources needed to make all those things are limited. Let's break this idea down a bit further. When is a resource considered scarce? If it's not possible to make more of one good without giving up some of another good, then the resources used to make those goods are scarce. Here's an example. Let's say I have all the resources that I need to make one pancake or one waffle. Let's assume they're the same. I have exactly enough flour, eggs, milk, and sugar to make one waffle or one pancake. But what if I want one waffle and one pancake? Is that possible? No. There are not enough resources to do that. In order to make a pancake, I must give up the opportunity to make a waffle. This is scarcity of resources. Another way to think about scarcity is that when resources are scarce, it's not possible to make one person better off without making someone else worse off. For example, suppose you're in a room with only 2 chairs. The first 2 people who enter the room take a seat. Then, when you come in, there's no chairs available for you to sit in. Suppose I, the teacher, decide to take a chair away from one student and give it to you to sit in. Have I made you better off? Yes. But what about the other student? Are they better off? No. Because chairs were a scarce resource in that room, it was not possible to satisfy your need for a chair without forcing the other student's needs to go unsatisfied. Because we will never have enough resources to satisfy all the wants and needs that we have, we must make choices, deciding to do one thing and not another. This requires us to be able to weigh the costs and benefits of our options, choosing the thing that will satisfy the most important wants and needs we have, and learning how to accept the sacrifices we must make in order to obtain those things. This is what economics studies: how we choose, why we choose, and how we deal with the consequences of our choices. The goal is to improve our decision-making processes, allowing us to do the most good with the least consequences. So, what are the consequences of scarcity? How does it affect us in our daily lives, since it's always putting pressure on us? First of all, scarcity is always going to affect the price of goods and services. The more rare a good is, not that kind of rare. There you go. The more rare an item is, like a diamond, the more valuable it tends to be. Now, items also need to be useful and desired in order to get a high price. Bubonic plague is rare, but I'm not going to pay for it. Another example, why are fresh fish so expensive in, let's say, Wyoming, but so cheap in Maine? Well, it's a lot easier and cheaper to catch a fish and sell it at the market next to the dock than it is to ship the fish in a refrigerated truck to the middle of the country. Fresh fish are scarce in Wyoming, but they're not as scarce in Maine. Scarcity is also going to affect the wages of workers. Doctors have to go to school for many years of their life and pay enormous amounts of money before they can wear the white coat. The difficulty inherent in becoming a doctor means that few people choose that career path, and that means there's always going to be a shortage of doctors. They're a scarce resource. This, combined with the incredible demand for a doctor's services, means that doctors can earn high wages and have little difficulty finding work. On the other hand, a high school student who works as a server at a restaurant will make a low wage because it's easier to learn how to do the job and there's many more people qualified to do that sort of work. Scarcity also affects the distribution of goods and services. Have you ever seen a corner office? Nice, big, open space with lots of windows. There's only 4 corner offices per floor in a building, unless you work at the Pentagon, I guess, which makes corner offices relatively more scarce than other offices in a building. Because they're more rare and more desirable, corner offices are often reserved for the most senior or highest ranking workers in a business. That's a picture of my mom's office, by the way. I love my mom and I'm super proud of her, so I thought I'd show off her office. Now, if you're watching this video after the lesson in class, then you won't be able to interact with this particular slide, but we'll go ahead and ask the question. So, can you identify the scarcity in this situation? You want to buy a new laptop, but you do not have enough money to buy one. Which is scarce, the laptop or the money? The money is the scarce resource in this situation. You only wanted one laptop, there's many available for purchase, so in this situation it's not scarce. But you did not have enough money, the resource used to obtain other goods, so you couldn't get the laptop. Therefore, in this situation, the money was the scarce item. In this situation, the US is currently having a trade war with China. Because of this trade war, laptop producers must pay more to buy the processor chips to make their laptops, which makes the laptops more expensive as well. The producers are still able to make the number of laptops that consumers want to buy. So which good is scarce? The laptops, the processor chips, or the money? In this situation, the processor chips are scarce, as there's fewer of them available for purchase by producers, and that's caused by political issues. Now let's say you want to go spend time with your friends, but you also have a bunch of homework that is due tonight. What is scarce in this situation? The homework, your time, or your friends? Time is the scarcity in this situation. You only have so much time in a day, and you must choose how you spend it. That's it for this section. I'll see you in a moment for micro and macro.